afraid. What are we afraid of? Could be many things. So let's see what IMDb says that we should or they were afraid of. Let's see. The Curtis family is selected to test a new home device, a digital assistant called Aya. Aya learns the family's behaviors and begins to anticipate their needs. Uh, and she can make sure nothing and no one gets in her family's way. Her family. All right, so we're gonna guess what we're gonna be afraid of here. You know, yeah. Well, I'll get into this here in a second before I unleash on this one. New film. I can't say that. You know, I obviously promote tons of films, see lots of stuff, but there are some films that kind of skate by. I don't quite catch wind of and so forth. It happens. I don't know them all, don't share them all, don't promote them all, whether it's press release or promotion. So this is another one that kind of eased on by me. But sometimes I when I do kind of catch wind and see it's there, and I'm like, okay, new movie, maybe I should see this one. Sometimes I'm persuaded by seeing what people are tweeting about it, especially if it's positive. But I can't say that I saw too much, about this one in that regards either. I just kind of stumbled upon it and it was kind of like, okay, let's see. So, not knowing about it, it comes on, start watching it. Obviously, by this description, you kind of get the gist of what is going to happen here. Curtis, the guy, the husband here, he's kind of into tech and kind of in that industry and whatever, and obviously looking for new advances and so forth and new things and that regard. His company comes across another company that has this new product, and his boss kind of wants him. Between him, and the meetings they've had with this other company, they want him to be the guinea pig here. His family to be the testers of this. He has a wife and two young kids, a daughter and a son, and they're gonna get introduced to Aya. I think I'm saying the name correctly. I don't remember how it's exactly pronounced in the movie. It's AIA. But that's what I'm going with. So, think of it maybe as an Alexa or a Siri or, kind of one of those devices. It is shaped a little bit differently, and definitely portrays that it can do, it's next level to that. So it is, kind of in that area and so forth. So that kind of gives you a little bit of clue what is happening and what she is. Being that this is a new film, it'll be fairly spoiler free, but actually, I'll try to be spoiler free. I think this is a horror movie, so I think you're gonna kind of know what's happening here. So I don't think it's a big twist and turn here that I'd be surprising you with anything. But I'll try to be gentle with it. So yeah, at first, of course, it's there. It is to serve the family, make the family better, make everybody happy. Everybody kind of has their issues. The girl has her issues in school. The boy has his things. The only one it doesn't necessarily get involved with at first is the husband. I mean, he's usually out of the house and doing other things and dealing with the company and this new tech and, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of tilted a little bit towards the mom and the kids at first, and, trying to do what it can to kind of solve their problems. And, it's solving, some of their problems in a really good way, and maybe, and with certain cases like the young girl, maybe not the best way. So as it goes on, of course, it will start handling things in maybe a more and more not great way. Maybe not a moral way, not a safe way, whatever. Um, I think, like I said, the father's kind of out and not really in the situation, and that's because, he's still kind of trying to figure out, what is going on with this thing, a little bit more about the company. He smells something that's off here, and, he kind of goes in that direction, and that's why. Um, you know, uh, uh, so without going too much into the spoiler territory, I'll kind of end it as saying, the father's going to eventually figure out that maybe this isn't the best thing for him and his family, especially to have in the house. So then we kind of go down that road that we've seen in some of these other movies with technology is, now that we know that it's not good for us, how do we get rid of it? And, so that's kind of, where we go from there. I don't know that I've really spoiled anything. Hopefully you don't feel that I have. Um, my issue with this movie and my problem here is that kind of when it ended, I felt like this was a movie just done, to basically remind all of us, which I don't, maybe some people need a reminder. I don't, I would like to think that not all of us need a reminder of the dangers of technology. I think many of us see it, but, it's like we're still going to go towards it. Um, there's lots of things that are dangerous in our lives, but, we still go towards it for whatever reason. AI is a big topic of conversation these days. And, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it can help, whether, this, that, and the other thing, everything new with it, the good and the bad of it, and so forth. So I really think that the sum of this movie was made just to kind of be like, hey, a reminder that, hey, if we go too fast or this doesn't work, blah, 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 hey, bad things are going to happen. And, I really think we're ahead of the times, because every time I kind of see a movie and as I was kind of watching this, I'm thinking, we already had Terminator. For those of us who watched the original Terminator and, even followed that series, I mean, maybe you didn't have to go through every single part and, whatever the other new ones that we've had lately that might not be, as great as the original and so forth. All you have to do is look at the theme and be reminded of the theme of the Terminator to realize, the possible road that we could be going down and the possible danger we're going down. We do, I feel like I didn't need this movie to come in here and remind me and tell me of that. He present some things, whatever. It's like, here's the thing, it feels good, now it's not good, now it's gonna hurt somebody, do bad things, and then the movie's over. And that's kind of how I felt, and it's kind of like, there is maybe one little twist in it that maybe you didn't see coming, or maybe you expected it, but maybe it was this or that. I don't want to give it away. But besides that, I don't know. I actually think at the end of the day, I felt like I didn't need this. I didn't need this movie. I've been warned with Terminator. I know I didn't need this. I didn't need a reminder. And I felt that maybe, nothing in the movie kind of surprised me with how it kind of played out, and so forth, and with the device and then what it did and so forth, and how it ends. You maybe, you want to be surprised with how it ends, but then you're like, okay, maybe I'm not surprised. There's something that happens at the beginning that I didn't really say, and that kind of comes back at the end. Maybe that's a little bit twisty there, and I give them maybe a little bit of credit for going there, and that kind of maybe, in the end kind of enhances the direction of their show you and the dangers of this whole thing. But really, at the end of the movie, that's kind of how it felt. I was like, I just watched that, and basically that was just one big long reminder of, here's AI. AI is dangerous, or technology, or whatever you want to call it. Whatever, whether it's AI or technology, whatever realm of that universe you want to call it. A reminder that it's here, blah blah. You can do all great things, but there's also some bad stuff that can happen. But like I said, with many of the things that we have in our world or whatever, there's good things for it and bad things, and it's just what we have and the way we live and so forth. Whatever. I don't even turn this review into what the movie does. It's a speech for you, and the movie was a speech for for tech and so forth. So that's really how I feel, and so I was kind of disappointed. I saw the movie. The movie was titled Afraid. The poster looked kind of cool. So I was like, okay, Afraid is a really good title for a movie. Sometimes I'm also attracted to movies by the title. I often lead off these reviews mentioning something about the title of the film. So, that's a great title for a horror movie. Let's see some real horror. Let's get down to it. Are we talking ghosts? Is it a monster? Somebody else, seeing stuff in their head? Is it under the bed? What is happening here? No, it is just technology that is, just gone rogue on you, and whatever. Like, it's never super blood and guts, and all that I like, and all that. So, with all that said, I'm just gonna give it one pool of blood. Like I said, I didn't really see much point. How is it? Just short of an hour and a half, and it was kind of like that. Like I said, it just seemed like one long kind of advertisement for this thing can do good things, this thing can also do bad things, and now you decide whether you want this kind of thing in your home or whatever. Blah blah. I don't know. So yeah, and I like the actor who plays Curtis, and what is his name? I don't even want to try to. Oh, John Koo, butchering names left and right. I like him. He's done some good stuff. He was alright in this movie, but just because I like him, I mean, I have to like the movie, and yeah, I just, maybe this is one of those ones that I put on. I was just like, oh damn, maybe I should have been too afraid to watch it, and which I'm just not, but maybe I should have been, and move to the next one. But so yeah, if you haven't seen this movie yet, and I've kind of discouraged you, I'm sorry, but if you're into tech and you want to kind of see what they do here, and maybe be reminded of some of that stuff, I don't know. I would prefer you, if you have not seen a Terminator, watch the original, maybe watch some of the other ones, see the eventual what is supposed to happen or what they predict is going to happen in that, and that sums it up more to me than this, but whatever. So yeah, so I'm gonna go with one pool of blood. I don't usually go down there too much, but yeah, it happened. So and that is out of 5. So that tells you all you need to know. So with that, horrorsquarereviews.blogspot.com is where you can find out all of my reviews, written and video. Certainly more video reviews for a while now. So you could like, subscribe, and do everything that people want you to do here on YouTube. But if not, no worries. It is okay. It's fine. Twitter, Facebook information down below. Feel free to join me there and talk horror, talk about this movie. If you want to talk tech, I'm probably not the person for you, and not really my thing, even though I'm on social media a bit, but not still my thing. I fight more with technology. If I didn't need my computer so much, I would probably just throw it on the floor and bash it. Issues. In the comment section, if you feel like you want to throw your computer on the floor and bash it, feel free to throw that in there. Yeah, or any other comments you have about this movie. Did you like it or not? And of course, I thank you for your time, for joining me here and on this review and on this channel. And with that, I'll catch you on the next review, horror fans.